How we doing? My name is Dr. Joe Sullivan with Haven Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. Today we're going to be going over an exercise called the Psoas March progression. 3 different movements with this that is really effective to start getting strength into our psoas muscles. Sometimes after stretching, we just don't feel that tightness in the front of our hips is gone effectively. So strengthening those muscles is actually the next step in progression into making sure that they're adequately supported and can support our frame and body in the movements that we want to do. For this exercise, we need a small looped band, something that isn't too stiff, that we can actually move our legs through this movement. The first progression of this, we're going to start on our back. We take that band and we loop it around the arches of our feet. Being in a down position, we want our knees and our hips at 90 degrees. Hands can be at side here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be straightening one leg at a time, holding for 2 to 3 seconds, alternating with the other leg. While performing this exercise, as I'm moving my right leg here, my left psoas hip flexor muscle is anchoring and stabilizing against the tension of that band. 10 reps of these can be effective. For those that need a higher stimulus, the next progression of this exercise is going to a flat leg, laying flat on our back, band still in the same place around our arches of our feet. We're going to be lifting one leg at a time into that top hip and knee in 90-degree position. This activation then becomes concentric or contracting of that hip flexor muscle as we are lifting that knee up towards our chest. Alternating 10 reps at a time. And the final position of this movement is done in a standing position, very similar to that first or second movement progression of this exercise, Psoas March. With this, we start adding balance into the equation, which challenges us a little bit more. So being in that same band around our arches position, we're going to be lifting that knee up towards our chest, holding for 2 to 3 seconds, keeping that balance, tight core, alternating 10 reps at a time. If you do 10 reps in the first variation, 10 in the second, and finally 10 in the standing, that will be sufficient to give 30 reps of activation to our psoas muscles, and from there you can perform this 2 to 3 sets at a time. For those that are more advanced, going just 15 to 20, upwards of 30 reps in this third variation, the standing with balance, can be a great alternative to make sure that we give the stimulus. But again, there is still merit to doing the first and second variation because of the stabilization of that first variation, as well as taking out the balance equation to just focusing on the activation of the muscle in the second variation. As always, you can increase the stimulus to this by finding a stiffer looped band around our feet. However, something that is moderate for all 3 of these to make sure you can get to that full range of movement, getting that hip all the way up into 90 degrees would be advised. Again, Dr. Joe Sullivan with Haven Chiropractic and Sports Medicine.